This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/gadgettv.
Hi, this is Andrew Moore-Crispin for Gadget TV on Butterscotch.com, and today we're taking a look at the BlackBerry PlayBook. We have the 16 gig model in the studio today. You can get this guy for $4.99, Wi-Fi only. There's also a 32 gig, and that's $5.99, and the 64 gig is $6.99. Again, all those are Wi-Fi only. There's supposed to be a 3G version in the works, but that's not released yet. So what you have here is really quite a functional tablet. Let's do a quick device tour before we get into the actual software. So on the top here, we have a volume rocker, volume up and down right here. We have a microphone in jack. This is a 3-stage, so you can use an inline microphone as well. We have a power button here. Now this is our biggest complaint hardware-wise. If you can see on the top here, it's actually a little bit recessed. So it's not, you can't actually just kind of push it like this. You have to really hunt and, there we go, I got it. So it's a little hard to press. Like I said, that's really our only major hardware complaint, which is a good thing. Here we have stereo speakers, one on each side. If we take a quick look on the bottom, you can see 16 gig model. We have a micro B USB port, actually this one here. We also have a mini HDMI, and we have a 3-pin like a dot connector for accessories that we've yet to see. Now we can also see on the front here that we have a camera up front for video chat, and on the back here we have another camera that we can use for, well, obviously for taking pictures and also for shooting video. Now let's get into the actual BlackBerry tablet OS interface. Now everything happens, you notice there's no buttons on the front of the device here. That's because the bezels are actually touch sensitive. So if we were to swipe from right to left, starting on the bezel and going across, we'd be switching between the apps that we have. In any application, and also in the home screen here, we can pull down from the top. We get in this case, settings. This menu is actually context sensitive, so depending what application we're actually in, will dictate what we actually see inside the settings menu here. We can also swipe up from the bottom of bezel up, and then we get access to a wider view on our applications here. And if we're actually in an application, so let's launch pictures here. If we're actually in an application, we'll go back home like this. We'll go back into pictures here. If we swipe down, you see this is the context-sensitive part of the top menu. So we can launch our camera from here. That's our camera. Now you can swipe down, and again, we have access to some different settings, so we can turn a couple different things on and off here, image stabilization, change the image ratio, or we can switch back into our pictures. So let's have a look at these pictures here. Let's have a look at this one. Now this really does highlight how kind of bright and really clear and crisp this screen is. And we can also do pinch zoom, which does function quite well. I've actually been quite amazed by how responsive this tablet is. Now I'll show you the, again, swipe up like this to exit into the context menus, or sorry, into the home screen. We can also swipe from either bezel to actually access the next application in our queue. Let's go back home and start launching a few more applications. Let's go into the app world here. It's a little sparse right now. Oh, I'm not actually connected to the Wi-Fi network here. Like I said, the app world's a little sparse right now, but you know, it'll get there. A couple hundred apps right now. Some not bad stuff. We've installed a few apps and been reasonably impressed with them. So that's good, and hopefully that app store will really start to kind of take off, and we'll see many more apps for the PlayBook. So again, let's get back to our home screen here. Now I'm going to access the settings. Oh, sorry. There we go. So we can actually connect to Wi-Fi up here, or we can, again, pull down into our settings. We can see some of the settings options that we have here. In this case, we're looking for connections, so we'll just tap on Wi-Fi. You can see available networks. This is the one we want to connect to. So we'll select Butterscotch here. And now we will, we don't want to use WPS. We're actually going to input the password. So we'll be back right after we've input this password. So now we're on a Wi-Fi network. We can actually look at some of the other function of this device, specifically the browser. Let's go and have a look at that right now. So you can see every application that we've been running, still running in the background here. So we can go into all, have a quick look at our applications here. We're going to open the browser. So we'll add this one up to our queue. Now, I do like the way the browser handles multiple tabs. You can see up here we have 4 tabs open. So let's go back into Butterscotch. You can see it's pretty much stored in cache there. We can also swipe down and get access to our tabs this way. We can also switch to our downloads and actually see any files that we've downloaded, or we get access to some options here. So these are just really mostly personal preference things like setting a font size and that kind of stuff. We can also, if we go into content here, we can see we can also enable Flash and enable JavaScript. So Flash, that is, that really does kind of unlock the full web. Apple very much against installing Flash on their devices, but I like to see it. Really does give you access to more of the web. So let's load up a page here. Let's just go to I don't know, let's just go to Google. This way we can see how the keyboard works here. This is kind of one of my complaints with the device. It's kind of a little one, but the keyboard, not quite touch typable. 7-inch screen makes it a little difficult, a little cramped to type on this keyboard. But all in all honesty, the keyboard does actually work quite well. So let's go to Google. And you can also, you have the option to turn off that irritating click noise. So that's a quick look at the web browser experience. Let's go in and actually open up a video. We can do some real multitasking here. So we'll find our Videos app, which is right here. In all honesty, the screen is actually quite responsive. I haven't had any trouble with it. I think a lot of it is because of the orientation that we're dealing with here. It's a little difficult to actually to get a proper touch on it. But you can see here, loading up a video. So this is basically an assemblage of HD clips. You can see it really showcases the nice bright screen, fast response time on it, and just really, I mean, the videos just pop. This is a 7-inch screen, so it just feels nice and high resolution. It just looks really great. So you can see it running through here. You should actually, if you get a chance, if you do buy one of these, make sure you watch this whole 3-minute video, because it's kind of strange, the clips that they've assembled. Like I said, a bunch of stock footage. There's a bunch of people just kind of mugging for the camera. Good times. All right, so if we slide up here, you can see that multitasking, the video is continuing to run. I'm going to turn the volume back up for a second, just so we can hear the video running in the background. So you can hear that. If we were to slide over here, you can see the video is still running. So this actually is quite impressive to me. So you can see the video continuing to run, same frame rate and everything. If we go into our browser, we can do whatever we want to do. We can go into any of our apps. We can go into the app world and start installing some stuff, and all the while the video continues to play. Now we've had about 12 applications open, continuing to run, background, and sitting in the multitasking, and we haven't had any trouble, no slowdown, nothing like that. So let's open up a game here. So now we can see, let's open up something else as well. Let's open up our weather app here. Let's open up a couple more things. Let's get the music store, I guess. So you can see, no slowdown. The thing continues to run beautifully. I mean, this real multitasking, it really is a coup for tablets. Now, on the downside of this device, sorry, let me just mute this and pause that video. Now, on the real downside of this device is that there's no native email. So if we go into all of our applications here, slide up and have a look at everything that's here, you will notice a notable lack of any kind of dedicated email application on the device. We do have access to a few apps that will give us access to webmail, but we can't get, for example, our corporate email or anything like that onto this device. It uses something that's called BlackBerry Bridge. So if we go in here, you can see BlackBerry Bridge here. Now you'll have to turn on Bluetooth, turn on this BlackBerry Bridge. You'll have to do the same on your BlackBerry smartphone, and then you'll get the two connected. You can share internet between your phone and the BlackBerry PlayBook, and more importantly, perhaps, you can also get your email contacts and all that kind of stuff actually inside the PlayBook. Like I say, complete lack of a native email application, although we do have the Gmail app and the Hotmail app and these kinds of things. But you can see all it really is a shortcut to a web resource. Now, just before we go, let's talk really quickly about some specs and also show you what comes in the box. So this is the box open. You can see we have this little neoprene case here that fits nicely over the PlayBook, keeps it nice and snug. If we dig into our box here, we have the power cord. So this is a 1.6 amp, I think, or is it 1.9? 1.9 amp power adapter. Micro B USB on the bottom here, just plugs into the bottom of the PlayBook. We also get this USB cable here, and a cleaning cloth, and some software disks and all that kind of stuff. So let's go over the specs really quickly. As we mentioned, it is a 7-inch screen. It's also got a 1 gigahertz dual-core processor inside and a gig of RAM, and that's what really kind of powers this multitasking experience where everything just kind of works and works nicely. It's running what's called BlackBerry Tablet OS, which is in version 1 right now. Pretty well-realized operating system. Orientation sensor, GPS inside, which is good to see, and a 6-axis motion sensor, basically a gyroscope. A digital compass, supports Wi-Fi 802.11a, B, G, and N. Also Bluetooth 2.1 with EDR. So that's a quick look at the BlackBerry PlayBook. For Gadget TV, I'm Andrew Moore Crispin. For more sweet stuff, visit butterscotch.com.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/gadgettv.